that was the first fish of the morning. Today we were with Captain Dylan and Captain Wayne on Legacy Sport Fishing, and we're doing some spring coho fishing. It's the last week of April, and we just got our lines in the water. A few more to set out here, but we got our first one of the day.
All right, guys, we're out here spring coho fishing. We're gonna walk you through our setup here. So on the downriggers, I only run 2 in shallow water. I think 4, 3 or 4 gets a little too much at times. So I run on, mostly right now I'm running stubbies with a slider fly on both of my rigger as well as my dipsy. We're in about 20 feet of water. I have my downriggers down 11 and 9 feet, and then I have my dipsies back 13 and 17 feet. Mostly they're just in that prop wash there. Sometimes those cohos are pretty aggressive, so that's why I have it set up the way I do. Then we got our boards. They're basically stretched back. We're set up with peanut fly stretched back 30 to 50 feet off the boards. Like I said, those cohos are in that top half of the water column right now, and there's bait everywhere. We're actually hooked up right now on our top rod over here. All right, so that fish just hit a top board. It was the top board, so that was about 30 feet back behind the fly, top probably 5 to 7 feet of the water column. We're trolling about 2.2 knots, so 2.4 miles an hour. We use knots out here, but most of the people out here are using miles per hour as well to link it up with your fish hawk if you have one. But looks like this fish actually got off, which happens a lot in spring coho fishing, so you don't need to get too frustrated or anything, and it's not like you're losing a trophy-sized fish, so it's all right. So we're hooked up again 30 seconds after. That one just got off. The cohos are here, so you don't need to stress too much about losing any fish or anything. You just need to make sure you get your rods back in the water, whether you catch a fish or not, just so you know you can stay hooked up and keep going for that limit. Everybody's gonna be like, no, that's Steelhead.
Thought this one was eating a goby. So that was on a blue, green, and gold peanut fly.
So we're hooked up again here, another peanut fly on a little red dodger. With about 30 to 40 feet back, so they're still hitting in that top 5 to 7 feet of the water column. We got another one hooked up, Rob. Second board. You want to grab that net?
My fish was on the next gen peanut fly. I don't know which one they got theirs on, but double O Dodger, next gen peanut fly, 30 feet behind the board.
Yeah, that's exact same setup on this one. So the next gen's been doing a good job, and Rob sells those at his shop, so you got to stop in and get some.
Fish on?
Or it just pops. There's one here though.
Fish?
Yep. I think we're doubled up. But no one to reel them in. So we're doing a little, we're getting creative with it. A few reels at once. Yeah, so the best part about coho fishing out here is it could go from, you're not catching anything for 10 or 15 minutes, and then the next thing you know, you have 4 or 5 rods going off at once. Like Rob and I just doubled up. We're still doubled up here, and I think the most rods I've heard of was Captain Blake said he had 14 rods go off a few years back. So our most was 7 rods last year, and it gets chaotic pretty quick, but it's like it's a fun chaotic. So like fishing with Dan Keating, I kind of learned like if one side of your boat's not going and the other side is, just switching up your angle or your speed a little bit really makes the difference into getting both sides going. So the main question you got to ask yourself when you're going out here and one side of the boat's going but the other isn't is what could you do to make that other side going, because you don't want to only be fishing with half of your spread working. You want to make sure your entire spread's working and catching fish. So it's a good sign that we have both our right side of the boat, our starboard side of the boat, as well as our port side of the boat, you know, actively catching fish right now.
This one feels a little nicer. You want me to say? I'm reeling in a coho right now.
He's so bad.
This is definitely the biggest coho of the year for us so far. It's been a short season, but did I mess that up? There we go. Perfect. A little skinny, but definitely short season so far. We got another fish on. That's definitely the biggest coho so far of the year. Really nice fish. There.
All right, guys, so just an update here. The boards have been pulling the majority of the weight. They've probably had the, you know, significant amount of bites. Seems to us right now that our downriggers and our dipsies aren't really doing much. We've had one hit on each. We lost one on the rigger, and we did catch one on the dipsy. So we're gonna go about start changing things. So since, you know, they are hitting the boards, that's either telling us they're either a little boat shy or they're just hitting higher up in the water column than we do have our stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch our downriggers back a little bit, get them a little further away from the boat, and I'm only gonna put them about 7 feet down so they are targeting that same water column that those boards are. On the dipsies, since I do only have one on each side, I'm gonna switch those to a 2.5 or a 3 setting, and I'm just gonna get those away from the boat and higher up. So I'll probably set those back about 17 to 25 feet each. Like I said, we are only in 20 feet of water, so we don't have a lot of room to work with that, but I am going to just try to target the depth of water that the majority of our bites are coming from. So we'll either go about changing stuff up a little bit. It seems like that next gen fly has been really good as a producer for us. Blue green gold as well. So we're gonna, I'll do a check to make sure what I have on each and then switch it to kind of mimic what has been getting bit. Fish on that board. All right, so just that small adjustment we did, we stretched it back a little bit, and the rigger started producing. We stretched it back and brought it up in the water column. So then it actually hit this stubby here that Captain Blake Keelan helped design this one. Actually, it's from Stubby, or Gold Star, and this is Stubby. It's been a top producer for us this year, paired with a blue-green gold fly. Yeah, so we switched our troll direction, we switched from going on a southbound troll to a northbound troll. So it took a little bit of adjusting about finding, you know, the right angle as well as the right speed. So after adjusting a lot, actually we've probably gone about 30 minutes without a bite. We finally seem to have it dialed in. It looks like we got 2 hits. Here comes one in right now. And then so the main thing, you know, when you do switch directions of your troll from a big direction change from southbound to northbound, is making sure you're really fine-tuning and honing in on your speed to make sure that, you know, you are going your baits are presented a different way when you start switching directions because of that current underwater. So you got to just really make sure that if you aren't getting bites, you're changing things up, whether it's your speed or your direction of your troll. So we're hooked up again on a high board. Same thing, double O lure Jensen Dodger, little red, with I believe this is the blue green gold peanut fly on it. Top board drop. So we're doubled up, same thing, same side. That one's next gen with a lure Jensen Dodger.
I thought it was gone the whole time.
Hey guys, we're back at the dock. We just finished up with our limit of cohos today, and just wanted to kind of tell you guys what was working for us. So by far our standout on a yellowbird or high board was the next gen paired with this orange lure Jensen, and it's a size 00, the 6-inch version. Our leader length is 18, so on every fly for the small Dodgers, the 00s, I decided to do the 18 inches, which is 3 times the length of the Dodger. On our dip sea or our downrigger, the best by far was this stubby. It's the 2 spotted with you know, just the normal fire with a blue green gold slider fly, and that was down anywhere from, we varied it from basically 9 to 17 feet down. Like I said before, we were only in about 20 to 22 feet of water, so the fish were kind of spread out from. Seen later in the day the downriggers were a little bit better than the boards, but that just goes to show that when they're feeding, they're normally in the top 5 to 7 feet, and then early in the morning, and then sometimes they'll go tighter to the bottom as that sun goes up and it kind of clears up the water. So yeah, it was a pretty good day. It was a northeast wind. We were in like I said, right out front of the harbor, basically set lines once we left. So in reality, any boat could really get out there. The main thing when you're out there is just don't overthink things. You know, we're not we're not building rockets or anything. We're just fishing. So just keep things simple, have fun. And then if you guys wanted to come out and learn a little bit with us, or just come out and fish with me, you can find us at Legacy Sport Fishing. It's a Facebook page, and you can give me a call at 630-297-3976. If you guys needed any of those flies we were talking about, or Dodgers we were talking about, or stubbies that have been working for us, all of those today came from Rob at, you know, Lake Michigan Angler. Stop in if you need a report, or just give him a call. He's happy to help. Thanks for watching, guys.